Jerusalem. Thousands of Palestinian protesters confronted Israeli soldiers on the Gaza border on Friday, and thousands more clashed at military checkpoints across the West Bank. Protests broke out after Friday prayers from Beirut, Lebanon, to Istanbul, from Mogadishu, Somalia, to Tehran. In Amman, Jordan, demonstrators held large posters of President Trump bearing the words, "Go to hell." In the West Bank, scores of protesters were said to have been wounded, many by rubber-tipped bullets. In Gaza, Palestinian health officials reported 2 deaths and scores of injuries from Israeli fire along the border. Throwing stones at Israeli forces across the Gaza border fence and masking his face with a Palestinian flag, Mohammed Karoub, 26, said he was willing to spill his own blood. "I am here for Jerusalem," he said. But the enormous wave of violence that had been feared after Mr. Trump's decision to formally recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel did not immediately materialize. Hamas, the Islamic militant group that dominates Gaza, had demanded a day of rage on Friday, calling on Palestinians to confront Israeli forces wherever they could, and for the start of a new intifada, or popular uprising. But in the Holy City itself, the main Friday prayer at Al-Aqsa Mosque was held without incident, according to the Israeli police, and the crowds that gathered afterward dispersed largely peacefully. 3 Palestinians were arrested at the Damascus Gate to the Old City in East Jerusalem after scuffling with the police, Mickey Rosenfeld, a police spokesman, said. Later, at least 2 rockets were fired out of Gaza. The Israeli military said one was intercepted and another fell in open ground. After retaliatory Israeli airstrikes against Hamas military targets in Gaza, another rocket struck a road in the Israeli border town of Sderot. But by nightfall, the protests had died down. Hamas called for protesters to return to the streets on Saturday. One possible reason for relative calm in the city at the center of the storm was that the Israeli police did not try to bar young Palestinian men from attending the noon prayer at Al-Aqsa Mosque, which it had done during previous tense periods. Limiting entry to the Muslim holy site has inflamed passions in the past. And though Hamas called for an intifada, Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian Authority president, has repeatedly stated that he does not want a third intifada to break out on his watch. Israel carried out more retaliatory strikes in Gaza early Saturday, targeting 4 Hamas sites, its military said. The strikes killed 2 people, the Palestinian Health Ministry said on Facebook. Analysts said the Palestinians may not be eager to embark on a new, sustained intifada because of fatigue, because of a sense that Mr. Trump's decision probably cannot be reversed, and because 2 previous uprisings did not bring them closer to the goal of a Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital. The business community is fatigued, exhausted, and angry, said Mahdi Abdul Hadi, director of PASSIA, an independent Palestinian research institute in East Jerusalem. Institutions are fighting for survival.